This is not a simple problem, but some advice for you. Whenever you work with something complicated, look for simple relationships that you know. And when you work with lines and angles, one relationship that always should jump out to you is that any angles that together form a straight line add up to 180. For example, here, when I look at this diagram, one thing I clearly see is that w plus x plus y plus z all form a straight line, so they add to 180. And I also see that the v plus the w plus the x also together form a straight line, so I know that those three variables also add to 180 as well. Now, of course, whenever you work with geometry, you always want to plug in any information you know. For example, we know that v is 110, and if we plug that into our second equation and then subtract 110 from both sides, we can see that w plus x equals 70. And we also know that x equals z and that y equals 2w. And we can take this information and plug it into the first equation. And if we do, we get w plus x plus 2w plus x equals 180. And if we simplify that, of course, we get 3w's plus 2x's equal 180. In other words, we have two equations, each with the same two variables, and that means we can combine them. Of course, there's a lot of ways we can combine the equations. Personally, I always like the elimination strategy, so I'm going to stack the equations vertically. And then I'm going to double the second equation so that I can then subtract the two equations, canceling out our x's. So let's do the work. If we double the second equation, we get 2w plus 2x equals 140. And if we subtract the equations, 3w minus 2w is w, 2x minus 2x is 0, and of course 180 minus 140 is 40, showing us that w equals 40. Well, if w equals 40, we can take this information and plug it into our earlier equation to show us that x equals 30. And if x equals 30 and w equals 40, that means x divided by w is 30 over 40, which of course reduces to 3/4. And there you go. That's the reason here that 3 over 4 is the correct answer.